In this Autodesk Fusion tutorial, we're going to go over how to make sweeps, ways of creating 3D geometry from a profile along a path. An important thing to remember about sweeps is you generally need two sketches, and those sketches should be perpendicular to each other. What does that mean? Well, let's create a sketch. Select Create Sketch. In this case, I'll select the ground plane. And because sweeps can be curvy and fun, I'm going to go ahead and use a fit point spline, and I'll drag a curvy spline around. Select the green check mark, and now I have one sketch. Now I need a sketch that's perpendicular to this sketch. How can I do that? The easiest way is to select Construct, Plane along a path, and then select one of the endpoints. This creates a plane perpendicular to this path. Say OK, and create a sketch right on this plane. And this can be any shape you want. It can be a circle, but we already have the pipe command for that. So we might as well make something that's a little bit more interesting. So I can create a geometric shape just like this, close it off, and now I have a profile. If I finish my sketch, you can see that this profile perpendicular to this path. Now we're ready to create a sweep in Fusion. Select Create Sweep. Every time you use a new command in Autodesk Fusion, it always lets you know what you need to select. So let's select the profile. That's going to be this. And then we'll select the path, and that will be this. And as you can see, this sweep goes right along that path, which is pretty fun. There's a number of options that you can do with the sweep. Let's take a look at this example of a sweep. Here we have the path that we're going to sweep on. Here we have a profile, and here we have something that's called a rail or a guide. Let's create the sweep. Select Create, then Sweep. Again, we'll select the profile. It already has the path selected. And then under the type, instead of a single path, we'll go ahead and select Path plus a guide rail. Now it needs to ask us, what is the guide rail? I'll select this one, and this will be the guide rail. And as you can see, how it tries to sweep along this path, but then it extends out and sweeps along the guide rail too. So this can make a lot of really complex shapes, especially if you're making like an ergonomic mouse or other items. And it's a great way to be able to do that. And then when you do this, you could have the full extents, which changes how far it tries to extend, or just perpendicular to the path. So you can see once this hits perpendicular, it stops here. But if I go to full extents, then it pops up right to the end of that path. And if I press OK, I can edit these original sketches. So if I edit this sketch, I can move this up further, finish that sketch, and it's going to change that form. So this is a really great way of making complex forms. So hopefully this allows you to get started with the sweep command. There's more complex things that you can do with sweep, but the best way to learn is to start playing around with the different options and trying to make specific designs yourself. Happy 3D modeling.